Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. And it's been a while. It's been a long time coming, but this is a channel refresh and a revival, and this is all because I have just finished building my very first gaming PC, and I really wanted to make a video just to talk about my experiences and maybe some advice from making the switch and whether it was all worth it, but also to show you the PC itself. So a bit of history: I've always been a console player. I've never ever used the keyboard and mouse to game before. I've never thought about that. So when I've initially made the decision to switch, I was very interested and definitely nervous about how it was going to end up. So firstly, why? Why did I want a PC and why did I make the decision? So I'm a designer and I currently have a MacBook and a PlayStation 5. That's a PlayStation 4, sorry. That's how I switch up. They were never together. So I needed something that was way more powerful for my work. I want to get into 3D software and motion graphics. I have an iMac, but that works because I'm working from home at the minute. I have an iMac that I'm working on, but I wanted something that I could use personally. So that was for me a really big decision. I wanted more choice in an accessible and affordable way for games too. And I definitely needed an upgrade from my MacBook. And basically my budget for this was $1,400, and this could have been a lot cheaper. You could really cut this down and get a very good build for under $1,000 easily. But if you looked at the budget that I had in mind, was because I had saved up about £500 for a PlayStation 5 before we knew the price. And also, if I wanted to buy a new MacBook, you're talking $1,200 at least. And even for an iMac, that's a lot more. So it's probably cheaper than what I would have had to get if I was going to keep it separate and keep to, Apple products, which I've always used as an industry standard. But Windows are definitely used at the same, but just through uni and whatever, everyone would use Apple products. So initially looking at this PC build, I'm doing it from scratch and building everything myself, I was very overwhelmed. But I soon began to love and understand the sort of PC plug and play aspect of it. I just love the fact that there's so many combinations that you can put together and you can really customize it to exactly what you need. So PC, do I find it better? Yes. Why? So from my opinion, I find it easier of playing an array of games for an affordable price. So at the moment, if no one knows, I'm sure you all do, but there's a huge Steam sale on. You can pick up games for super cheap at the moment, but there's also other game sites that stuff like G2A, which will sell game keys for very cheap. So you can pick up things in whereas on console I felt like it was very price locked with Sony and you couldn't really navigate that. You could probably find them cheap on Amazon and stuff, but again, that's discs, and I wanted something very accessible and immediate. I also found that on PC, the communities I play with are bigger, more talkative, and people are more active. There's no subscriptions unless I decide to sign up for something like the Xbox Club or Ubisoft, for example. But I've already found a few servers of communities who play numerous games, and I've already played Hell Let Loose, Among Us, Phasma, and Warzone with a bunch of people. My graphics setup is I'm playing 1440p with 144 Hz, and it's beautiful. It's so smooth, and I really enjoy that. I think it's such an improvement. I'm not slating console graphics, and the next gen is definitely bringing that up, but I really enjoy it, and I'm slowly getting used to the keyboard and mouse. Whilst I can also game, I can also edit videos, record videos, work and experiment using the softwares I mentioned before, like Cinema 4D, Octane. So a bit of advice: if you're thinking about this, you should really think about why you need it. So is it purely gaming? Is it casual? Are you just wanting to pick up and play? And that will probably help you decide whether you should go for a console or should go for a PC. Do you need something, or have you got something separate where you game on a console, but you also you could use the PC for work? And if you could combine that in one thing, you could probably save a bit of money. I realized when I broke it down a bit. So I would also say research into it. read up about the parts, read up about what you'd need for a build. Look through Reddit. Reddit was super helpful for this. I also watched a bunch of YouTube videos on how to sort of navigate around building it itself, and you know, I was understanding how to get better components and what I really wanted to make my build look like from looking at other people's builds. So a big help to me was using a site called PC Part Picker in all of this. I would essentially start a build off, which was set up by my flatmate. Initially set up like a foundation build for me, and I slowly upgraded things, tweaked things, and I could see the prices and compare the prices on multiple sites like Amazon, Scan, places like that, and I could easily see what was more expensive, what was cheaper, and I could sort of look at was the sort of drop off of quality worth the price. And it was so helpful, and I tweaked it a number of times. But if you're trying to put together a build, definitely set out a budget and look at PC Part Picker and see if it's manageable and if you can do it. So to conclude this video, building my very first PC was very overwhelming at first, but once I sort of delved deeper into the world and understood it more, I really enjoyed it. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed actually building it. And also, you don't have to build your own PC. You can get pre-built ones, but the prices will probably be higher. But I appreciated the challenge of it, you know, and when I turned it on and the lights and fans started, the adrenaline and pride that kicked in was like amazing. Like, you know, I look at the computer and be like, you know, I did that. You know, I researched and really put effort into this. And for me, the PC gives me everything I need for gaming and working. And if I took the budget off a MacBook or an iMac and the next gen console, my PC probably comes in cheaper altogether. I would recommend anyone in a similar situation to me debating whether to get a next gen console or switch to PC to figure out your budget. And as I said before, use PC Part Picker to look at what you need and definitely research exactly what you need. And also, in the long run, I believe that you will save more on PC, because even though there's more of an upfront cost, in the long run there's less subscriptions, and you know, there's definitely way more fluctuation on prices than on console. So that's my thoughts, some advice, and a bit of my experience on building my own PC after being a complete console boy for the entirety of my life. If you'd like a full specs list of what I'm running in the PC, let me know. I'm happy to either tell you or make a video explaining why I chose the parts I did. So that's my thoughts, some advice, and a bit of my experience of building my own PC. If you want a full specs list and I can run through all of my parts, I could probably do another video on this, but I'm also just as happy just to write it in the description or the comments. Also, any questions you have regarding the Switch itself and anything I might not have covered in this video, please just ask it in the comments and I will try and answer them all. I will answer them all. And if there's enough questions, I would probably just run through a Q&A, but I doubt there will be. I haven't been on this channel for 3 years. But as I said, if you do have questions, ask them. And yeah, if you've got this far in the video, I really appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.